Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm going to talk about what it means to have your natal Chiron in the sign of Cancer. So what is Chiron? Chiron is this point in your natal chart that represents the wounded healer. It represents a deep pain that you have, but once you realize this pain, it also becomes your healing gifts as well. So Chiron and Cancer, I've been wanting to talk about for a while because this is such a profound healing placement, okay? So it is especially painful because we have Chiron in a water sign here. So the deep pain, the wound that we have, it comes from our very early life and upbringing. Quite often there is some sense of deep familial trauma, and whether this is actually from a trauma that happened in childhood, that's possible, but it could even be that the family of origin that we've been born into has had some major trauma or something, like our grandparents or parents died in war or something like that while we were still in the womb, or there's something that's happened even before we were born. There's something in the family line that's been especially traumatic, and then the people that are born with Chiron and Cancer have come to kind of be this like genetic curse breaker, or like the black sheep of the family, the person who actually is the first person who's going to heal that trauma and like go to therapy or become an energy healer or become an astrologer and understand that they have Chiron and Cancer and then heal themselves. There's an energy like that they've come in with. So the pain is from something early in childhood. There's some type of difficult experience that has deeply wounded their inner child, or it's from even before birth. There's something in the genetic history of the family of origin that's very painful. And they have come here with this big mission to bring awareness to that and to heal that. So these people are very emotional, even if there's other placements in their chart that would mitigate this. They have a lot of Gemini or Aquarius or air signs, and like maybe positive aspects going on between those air signs. They still have this very deeply emotional part of them, and so they can feel oversensitive. They can be easily brought to tears. They can have a very difficult relationship with their family and their upbringing, where it's like a can't live with them, can't live without them kind of thing. They're definitely easily going to identify with that role of being a healer, especially on the emotional sense. Like, these are the kind of people that when you're telling them something and they hear about your story, they will actually cry for you. So they have that gift of empathy, which, it's two-sided, right? That can be very good. That can be, this great gift where they really can feel for other people, or it can be very inhibiting and, really hold them back because they can barely exist in this world without being overtaken by intense emotions and feelings of sadness. And they have this deep longing for a better world, and they want to help create that, but they can be so deeply sensitive that at times that feels impossible. That better world feels impossible. There's just, too much trauma here. There's too much sadness here. There's too much pain here. So they can struggle with feelings of hopelessness and sadness and like a longing that just doesn't seem to ever resolve itself. But once they become aware of this deep sensitivity and they recognize it as one of their gifts, they recognize that they are an empath. Out of all the people who say they're empaths, Chiron and Cancer is the empath here, and they can start to use it as a gift. They can recognize that they didn't come here to just wallow in all the pain and suffering of humanity. They actually came here to bring awareness to it and maybe even develop some kind of helpful tools to help people who are in that, sorry, my dog's barking, to help people that are deeply in that, right? Like, so for them to study some type of, emotional healing work, some type of self-help, or, therapy or counseling, these kind of professions would be really a good use of this emotional field that they have. They have this really strongly emotional field, right? And the good use of it would be to use it to really help others and not just, be stuck in their own pain and suffering, right? That is the gift of this placement, is that they're truly compassionate people. You can tell them anything, your story, and they can feel for you, right? So they can really connect with people, and people can feel really connected with them as well. People can really trust them because they truly do care, right? So the first step for them is to heal that immobilizing feeling that they have from their early childhood. What is it that has just totally messed them up in a major way? And once they find the tools to deal with that and to heal that, then they can move on and say, oh wow, I've had a major transformation in my emotional field. I've gone from, feeling like this to feeling like that. And now, I'd really like to be the ear for others and to help them go through whatever they're going through as well. That's one of the higher gifts of this placement. And they are meant to be these healers for humanity. They are meant to be these emotional purifiers. They're meant to hear all of the suffering of humanity, lend their ear, and then also, give them the tools to actually move on from this and to use their pain as a gift. The gift of Chiron and Cancer is they can wear their heart on their sleeve and help others see that their emotional pain, their suffering, their trauma, their wounded childhood or past life trauma or trauma from the family line, it's all purposeful. It's all meant to be looked at. It's not, it's not bad. It is what it is. And now, what are we going to do with it? Chiron and Cancer can really help people deal with their emotional shit. Okay. I'm trying to think of anything else here. I think that they would have the potential to be really amazing parents as well, because that wound for them has come from the childhood. They'll have a really strong desire to be a better parent than maybe what they experienced. And they're changing their legacy of their family line. They're changing that legacy of pain and trauma being passed down to healing being passed down. And that's, a big part of their mission here is that. So I hope this was helpful. Let's talk soon, you guys. Let me know about this placement. How did you experience it? I'm really curious to know. I know that some of you, I know people like in 1989-ish, I think, that have Chiron and Cancer opposite to Saturn in Capricorn. Now that's a really heavy experience as well, like with parental messages being strongly negative and having to rewire that. I have the same thing. I have Chiron and Virgo opposite to Saturn and Pisces, but it's similar but different. So I'd love to hear your experiences of that as well, if you have that specific aspect, because that's an ouch moment. But yes, you guys are very powerful healers, and yeah, I hope this resonated. Love to hear your thoughts on it. I do offer one-on-one sessions as well. I do a personal natal chart reading, and then I also do a synastry relationship chart reading as well. My links are below, and I'm going to be going through the Chiron signs here. So yeah, this is a fun one to do. I love Chiron. I feel like it's such an obvious part in someone's chart as well. So yeah, love you guys. Thanks for watching. Talk soon.